Anytime you cooperate with an evil entity like the Trump administration, you will eventually be infected.
What began with about 35 people swelled to nearly 50 protesters at the Shenandoah Valley Juvenile Detention Center this morning.
We're protesting the inhumane treatment of immigrants by the Trump administration. We feel like that Trump is preaching hatred and racism and fear, and we want to take a stand against that.
William Walker is a Stanton resident who says he represents concerned citizens. Walker was one of the organizers of a protest against the Shenandoah Valley Juvenile Detention Center. Walker says they want answers about an investigation recently launched by Governor Ralph Northam. The probe stems from allegations of cruelty to children at the Shenandoah Valley Juvenile Center.
We're calling on our localities to stop cooperating with Mr. Trump through the facility that where we are. The facility houses about 20 immigrant children, and we want our localities to tell the Trump administration that it's refusing to participate in this kind of treatment.
Allegedly, children are being beaten and placed in solitary confinement for days.
There are allegations of cruelty going on inside that building. I'm here because cruelty is beneath us. We are better people than that. I have a certain calling to that, but we all have a human calling to be better people. And whatever else may be going on globally at our borders, here there is cruelty happening. And allegedly cruelty happening. And we need to be stood up and counted as witnesses against local cruelty.
Paul Nancaro is from Trinity Episcopal Church. The Stanton resident says he came to support the young immigrant detainees.
I came here today because I had read in the newspaper about allegations of what I would consider to be cruel and unusual punishment going on in this facility. There are immigrants, undocumented, crossed the border, who were sent here. Not some of those youth that were separated from their families, they were sent here earlier, but they have filed a lawsuit alleging that they have been beaten, that some of them have put in restraint chairs and left there for hours, that some of them have been put into cold, bare concrete cells without even their clothing. And I don't think that kind of treatment is something that we ought to be doling out to anyone. I think we should be better people than that, and I came here today to bear witness to that.
Connie Westfall is also a Stanton resident who came out to protest. Westfall describes being appalled by news reports of young detainees being mistreated in the U.S.
I am here today because I've been so disturbed of what's happened in our country, but also what's been happening that we're aware of anyway, more recently with the immigration treatments of families that are coming, children, and how they are held in confinement and cages. And I just think it's just the most inhumane, un-American way of treating people that came for reasons of abuse, violence in their own countries, that want better for their children, and then they come to this country that they look forward to, and here is the treatment they get. And I just think it is inexcusable for a country that is supposed to be welcoming, friendly, kind, loving, but also reasonable with a situation that is now almost out of hand.
Mona Williams of Bridgewater was also among the protesters. Williams says she had no idea of the mistreatment allegedly happening to the immigrant detainees. She says she hopes by protesting it will make others aware of the young detainees' plight.
This is local to us, very close to me geographically, and I think it's a national issue. It fits right in with what's happening nationally. I know these kids are not from the border recently, I know that, but it's the same story. It's the same awful story, and one thing I'm upset about is that we didn't know. I didn't know about this. That's why I made this sign. I think we need to shed light on this, and then hopefully we can make it better.
Richard Barnes says he's concerned about the allegations and wants to see something done.
We've got a whole policy that's based upon making rules, but without any kind of compassion for people, and without it's a combination of incompetency plus the lack of compassion. And I'm here because of these children, that they're here locally. I'm not going all the way to Mexico. We have a problem right here in Augusta County in Stanton, and I'm here to protest that and make sure that the public knows it.
Walker summed up the rally by explaining it's time for America to do the right thing.
This area is full of people who care for others, and we're happy to welcome people who believe that we need to take care of everyone's children, not just the residents of the United States, but everyone's children in a way that's appropriate.
In Verona, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.